I made the devil as a character in CK3 and my goal is to turn him into a saint, and how I did it may surprise you. Hello guys, I'm JBread, and for this video, I want to challenge myself to make a character so intrinsically evil that any good action that resists sin will cause stress build-up and eventually death. For this challenge, I want to achieve the highest level of piety and if possible, remove the evil or sinful traits my character has under Catholicism. That means I must follow the rules of the 10 commandments as well as avoid the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, and many other sinful activities identified by Catholicism. For every decision I make, I will contemplate which choice is good and which is not, and ultimately choose the good one, even if it may lead to my death. Though, why only Catholicism? I'll explain later on. So in practice, that means I can't do the usual CK3 player activities. No murders, no unjust wars, no seduction, no lying, basically nothing that most especially comes naturally to him, while I try to survive in a world that fully hates me. And we're in the game, guys. So for this challenge, I wanted to play as a ruler in the Holy Roman Empire, which is why I also picked Catholicism, so that I'll have a bunch of like character interactions which we'll like see later on. And for this challenge, of course, I need to create my very own character. So basically, I already went ahead and made my own character. One thing though that I wanted to say is that this video won't be like my previous ones where I use a script to be able to like quickly state the info that I wanted to share to you guys. But for this case, I just wanted it to be like a type of commentary gameplay. But enough of that, let me present to you my specimen for this like challenge. So again, this is supposed to be the devil as a character in Crusader Kings 3, but turned man by God. So here I named him Lucius, short for Lucifer, and true to his nature, I copied like the most accepted biblical interpretation of his character. So I made him as a conniving puppet master because, like as you all know, the devil is a very clever being, very conniving, and just intrigue heavy as a character. And as mentioned before, he will contain all the negative traits, all the sinful traits under Catholicism, and a bunch more like greed, wrathful, arrogance, cynical, and of course, the cause of his downfall, his excessive ambition. And for his other traits, I went in and made him beautiful because, you know, despite what's the most common depiction of him in media and in stories, the devil in some ways does not look like a hideous being, but rather something that's attractive and seductive, but in a twisted way, one that makes you do bad things or twist these good things by making you do immoral things to get those good things. And he's a genius because my idea is that my guy here was made an angel by God, but then like turned by God into a mortal being. But it doesn't erase the intellect God gave him when he was an angel. So yeah, basically that's the lore of this challenge. God turned the devil into a human and wanted to see what he'd do with this second chance. So aside from his vast intelligence, I think that he should be Herculean because he also possesses the potency and the power of an angel, though limited to a mortal body. Strong. So similar to the reasons for these two. Shrewd also. Wise because of his intelligence, as well as his like informed nature, like because he was once an angel and thus able to partake in the limitless or the eternal nature of God in their own way, that he knows more than what we do. And also in some ways the devil is very learned in what's in the Bible or many other hidden knowledge, because as I've said, he's just an angel turned into a man, so he knows a lot more than what we do. And of course, he should be a seducer. He should be like the father of lies. And there might be a bunch more traits that I wanted to add. Like for this case, possessed, I wanted to add this to him, but I thought to myself, who would possess him if he's the devil? Though, yeah, other like fallen angels may, but this really ruins like the plan that God wants to do in this scenario. Like, how can he become a better person if he's possessed by evil spirits? There could be also, as mentioned before, there could be also a bunch more traits I could add here to make him fully like authentic. But why not tell me below, guys? Maybe I'll try again this challenge in a more difficult or more extreme version. And as for the skills, I went in and added a couple of like skill points. So diplomacy, I wanted him to be like a diplomat, being able to like twist the emotions and the thinking of other men, though not to a very high extreme, like for his intrigue and learning. And basically, it's the same reason for this and these for these two. And with the essentials out of the way, let me just finish few touch ups and we'll get right on the game. And with some finishing touches, we have Sir Lucius of the Dragon family, and our motto is RAR. So yeah, I'm not being too serious about this playthrough. Let's just have some fun with this scenario. Alright, so I wanted to start in the Holy Roman Empire because one, it's a really large empire, so I have to deal with a lot of people, and most of these people hate my guts, which is pretty good compared to like how people should be treating us because of our condition. We are overstocked with all these sinful and negative traits under Catholicism and none of the virtues, which is fine. First things first, let's figure out how to raise our piety, which is easy enough. We can just do some pilgrimages, and because we started as the Holy Roman Empire, we already have a huge quantity of money or gold. It's a little bit easy for us to begin our pilgrimages. So let me just set a few things here first. So I want to reduce the chance of being assassinated because almost everyone hates me really. Nobody seems to have a positive opinion of me. Oh, except the women. So be careful, folks. It seems like the women are the most tempted by the devil, as what this game like implies. Oh, look at that. It's because yeah, we are a seducer, beautiful and Herculean. So aside from women, I guess okay. All right, yeah, some of the gay people do. I, I'm not saying this like I'm not saying this as I don't know. So take out of it what you will. Anyway, back to that game. So again, I want to like focus on improving my relations with people. So I haven't really tried diplomacy in my playthroughs that much because I'm more of a martial steward and learning person. So I don't really use intrigue that much. But despite that, we'll still use some bit of intrigue We need to find a way to reduce our chances of being assassinated. So I guess yes, this one is great. And also this one, but I also want to get this other perk here because like as I've said, um because we have plenty of like sinful traits, and a lot of events would like feed on that, on these traits, and I want to like reject doing the thing that these sinful traits would want me to do, which would increase the stress my character has. So I just want to take advantage of that stress and get as much skill points from being very stressed, which would be also helpful because as you can see here, it will increase our intrigue, thus also reducing like the chances of us being assassinated. Although I think we won't worry too much on that, as you'll see later. But anyway, let's set up our court. All right. So let's begin first by going to a pilgrimage. And lucky for us, we have a nearby pilgrimage site, and it's very cheap. Unfortunately, because people see us as the devil, we are not welcome in most locations. Although I have to say, I think we can risk it, right? It's still very low. Let's just hire a caravaneer, caravan master, I mean. And yeah, we should just pass through these locations. Or wait, hold on. Maybe, yeah. So the thing about pilgrimages is that you are rewarded for like extending your time during travel. It would hold on. I think yeah, it's better if we have. Hello guys, Jaybread from the future. I just wanted to say here that in short, pilgrimages reward you more if you take a bit of a detour and travel around because it fires more events that increase pilgrimage quality, which in turn rewards you more after the event. I wanted to go into detail in the video but got too distracted by the said events popping off. So this is our first event. So this is like a test for our generosity, and as you can see, by being generous, we would be very affected by our negative traits, our sinfulness. And really only the only good option here is to pick the first ones because yeah. So this man is asking us for some money because nobody would help him, and the second option is like ignoring our call to be generous to less fortunate people. Yes, this text states. And the third option would be very sinful by killing the pauper or the. Hello guys, Jaybread again from the future. I just wanted to condense what I reasoned the best course of action here because I delved too much into Catholic theology on regards to charity. For the sake of brevity, I gave to the pauper only once. My reasoning in essence is that I gave him enough already for the needs that he mentioned, and him adding a new reason for asking me for more charity does not automatically make it a moral duty, and that charity should be governed by prudence. If you feel like a person is stringing you along just to ask for more money, you should be critical of that person because he will turn that to a bad habit if you let it continue to happen. And obviously from the event, this guy doesn't think of God in a serious way. To say no. And like I said, because of our sinful traits, we can't pick most of the coping mechanisms we could often use in the vanilla game or unusual playthroughs. So, though the most grievous one is drinking, because drinking leads to intoxication Though moderate drinking is fine, but yeah, trying to get drunk, as what this option implies, you're 100% getting drunk. So this is not the best solution. Though I have to say this one is a little bit gray because like being angry in it of itself is not completely a sin. There are times where you have righteous anger and unnecessary anger. And it is natural for humans to be angry, especially on things that stresses them, though not in a way that they want to be angry just for the sake of being angry. So for this case, it seems like our character just wants to like be angry for the sake of being angry. So the best option would be just to endure the stresses of life. No, as all of us has to like cope with. And this a lot of these events really are not too important for our story, so these things can be ignored or not. So I won't be including much of these events, trying to like explain my thought processes of these are just some minor events. So here's another event. So not really much of a moral issue, but rather like a prudential, I guess, like a I don't know, like a trivial matter. So I don't want to read all this, but because I've already like run through these events a couple of times already, and yeah, but these choices do help us in our role play, I guess. So there's not really enough evidence for us to know who the real owner is. So let's just leave it up to them. Let's just have them. We can't really assume it's from Napoleon or from Gottfried, nor can we just take it from them because despite not knowing who really owns the item, we can be certain that someone really owns the item, but we can't say who exactly. So let's just let them deal with this themselves. So here's another event, guys. So like how can I say this? Like of course we can't really go knowing women knowing women or we can't really go laying with whoever woman who we fancy that is not our wife, because as you know, intercourse is a covenantal act under the church and especially under God. So any premarital activities that involves reproductive organs is not a very Christian nor saintly activity. Thus, we must resist our sinful nature. So here's another event, guys. So one of our courtiers or travelers in our group got trapped on an avalanche here. So you think that the best solution or the only Christian solution is to go out there and save them. But because we aren't really skilled or trained to go outside and it would risk us our lives, we can not do it. We can just stay as where we are and hopefully ask others for help. But I wanted to make my character a very good saint, a very good helper. So why not? Why don't we try to save them? So here, we found a preacher here who claims to be a priest, saying that the end of times is near. Although, to be honest, relatively speaking, the end is near in God's perspective, but in our human perspective, it could be anytime, and no time in our contemporary time, our won't appear in our contemporary times. So being a learned person here, so one thing we have to remember about the devil is that he is not ignorant to what's in the Bible, nor what's God's plan. He knows verses and he will twist it. But luckily for us in this case, his knowledge will help us pick the best option here. Though you might say that maybe we should pick the lose stress option, but it's not really important right now. We are still at level 2, and if we finish our pilgrimage alive, we can go to feasts and other activities that reduce our. For the sake of this pilgrimage, I want to get the most out of it, so I want to use my character's knowledge in the Bible to to give out the message that no one shall know the time of the end. So dedi otem ilia et hora ora nemo skit. So here's another event, guys, that's something that it's very obvious, what's the answer. So to be a good Christian, we also have to not be presumptuous, like presume every person that's not a Christian is bad or evil. There are people who are not Christian and are evil, but there are some whom are good, because maybe in some ways God is speaking to them, and they embody God's goodness without them really knowing it. Because as you all know, all good comes from God. Evil is the absence of God. And God is more powerful than the devil. The devil is nothing compared to God. So it's not impossible to think that there are some good heathens or infidels out there, but it's true, there are some that's bad. In this case, if we think that every other people whom are not Christian, Catholic, Orthodox, or other types of Christian are evil, we would fall into the sin of presumption. So the best answer for this is that we should see that we should try to be charitable to others, though at a level, of course. Like, let's not be completely charitable. Let's just give them a chance, and if they fail the chance, then it's better to assume they are evil. So in this case, let's just pick this option, to sympathize to the heathens, believing that they are not all that bad. So here's just another event that doesn't hinges on a moral core. So basically, we are being accosted by bandits on a bridge. They're asking for a toll. We could give them the toll, but at the cost of 100 sanity, giving us 100 stress for a character, which means we would reach level 2 and halfway through level 3. So we can't really choose the generous one. And I would say that this is like the worst option, because we are just letting them or perpetuating the extortion of others. In some ways, God has appointed us, our character here, as an authority in the realm. He should be respecting our authority under the appanage of God's own authority. So really, we should be angry of what he's doing. We should be correcting him. And very good. So as you can see, guys, I've reached level 4 tier. So I'll get a very high like pilgrimage experience, which also means like I can now, in my opinion, the opinion of the clergy and religious folks of our nations would like increase, meaning a lot fewer people would hate our guts and be more open to us. Very good. So now we have the pilgrimage fame. We could get this upgrade, but it's not really that important for us, especially because of our bad health. We should just let this follower here become a priest. I don't know what's the morality of this. It doesn't seem like it seems to me like it's not about doing something shady. Like, we're only using our learning and diplomacy. I just want to be careful about the options I choose, because maybe some of these have some subtext that I don't fully understand. But from what I'm guessing, this is, I guess, fine. We're just looking around, right? The book. And finally, now we've finished our first pilgrimage. And yes, as you can see here, we are We are already at level 40, so that's a good thing for us to have. And all right, now the Pope loves us a little bit more, from 90 opinion, negative 90, now to 83. I want to curry some favor from the Pope. Like, I want to increase his opinion of me. So let's give him a bit of northern Italy that's under our control. Unfortunately, I really don't want to give away Matilda here, because she is a big help for us, especially diplomacy wise. I want to test if a second gift would be beneficial for us. Nope. So I guess only one. That's fine. At least we reduce the negative opinion of him. So thankfully, we have shown others that we are not that type of person that they think we are. And yeah, let's continue on the game. So if you're not, if you haven't paid attention, pilgrimages can be repeated indefinitely until until the until all of the sites, holy sites, have been visited and their cooldown hasn't like elapsed. So just to make sure that this challenge, I don't make it a crutch, and I could be a challenge. I could experience a bit more of a challenge than an easy, I guess, win. I want to read. I want to, like, not rely on the pilgrimages so much. I think I'll have a pilgrimage every 2 years. Is that fine, guys? So just to like make it a little less spammy, a little less crutchy for me, so that we should get some bit of challenge. But yeah, anyway, let's continue with what I've said. So I wanted to have a feast so that I could reduce my stress level and also increase my opinion from others. I also want to have an alliance on, hopefully we could find a good match. Well, I guess nothing comes right. Nothing comes like nothing's fit right now. I want to ally with like somebody who's not a vassal of mine. I want to defend myself from attacks or invasions, especially France, because I think he's most likely, King Philip here will most likely attack us because he hates us. Maybe we can ally with the Duke of Normandy. Unfortunately, doesn't like us. If we do send him a gift, maybe, but it's too expensive. I'll just give it a try. Hopefully that's enough. And yes, that is really enough. Hold on. Okay, so I guess the reason why that's, I don't know why, but maybe he's greedy or what. He likes money. It was a really big opinion boost. So now our stress have really affected us, have really gotten through our character here. So these two options are of course bad. This one is being promiscuous, um going to brothels and whorehouses, which are really unchristian. The other would be being too vain, too wasteful. Yep, too vain. So these two are sinful. Though this one, I have to say, it's not sinful. It's normal for humans to feel sad. God gave us the emotions to feel sad, to realize what we have lost or what we really want in this life. So yeah, what my guy wants here is to become a saint, to change who he will be or where he'll end up after death. And I guess thankfully we didn't get the melancholic trait. Well, at least that's a huge boost for us. Anyway, let's have this thoughtful perk so that we can just bribe people or others to increase their opinion of us. I want to do that especially to my court chaplain and my spy master. I want him to be loyal to me. But before that, we need to reduce our stress so that we won't die. Anyway, I want to like improve the borders of my empire, especially my vassals, to reduce the negative opinion modifier. So really, this is a like good way for you to reduce any liberty factions. I also want to set up my military to ensure that our nation is protected from external threats. Maybe I could get the stalwart accolade knight. Okay. For that, I'll also set up my men at arms and back to the accolades. Let's just run through these guys. Okay, so let's have this guy be our knight and make him our buddy on buddy. Make him our spokesperson to I guess I don't know the court. I guess impress the court and improve their opinion of us. And maybe let's just have this one to increase the performance of our army. And yeah, that's basically it. Though unfortunately for us, it will have a hard time unlocking the other glory and rank, because the only few ways that's reliable in increasing our glory and our rank is through battles, and we have to just defend. For the most part, we can only defend what we have. So yeah, that's like the real downside of this. But fortunately for us, we have a large levy size, and oh, this looks nice. Yeah. So okay, now we have another wing here, and it's in the and they're doing another post, but we are really similar, right? Anyway, let's just continue with the game. Can I get a coronation? Nope. So when did we last take our pilgrimage? I guess so we immediately did our pilgrimage at day 1, I guess. So that means we already had our pilgrimage from start to finish a year ago. So let's have another pilgrimage. This time maybe we can visit the Holy Father himself in Roma. And as mentioned before, let's have a few detours to maximize what we'll gain from this pilgrimage. Let's maximize everything. And that's about it, I guess, right? Let's also continue our frugality. And now that we've had our first pilgrimage, we have now unlocked the fidelity or contemplative, I guess. Contemplative um contemplative pilgrimage or purpose option, I guess. The contemplative option, which would be very beneficial for us in increasing our piety, and also increasing the bar here, increasing the score we have in our pilgrimage. And off we go. So I'll try to, as much as possible, choose the most saintly option. No, I guess no. Choose the saintly option. As much as possible, choose the saintly option while also mitigating the stress effects of these options. Okay, so hold on. Oh no. Sige na lang. So here's another great test for us, guys. So as you know, Jesus wants us to proclaim the gospel throughout the world, through everyone. And one way to do that is to lead people away from a life of sin. So this guy tried to steal from us and we caught him. And we're now in a bind. We can either convince him that what he's doing is wrong and he should stop it. Or the other option would be what? To let him have the money. So I guess the easiest option, right, is to convince, or the best option, right, is to convince him to be good, be a better Christian, a better person. Although unfortunately for us, we're gonna increase our stress, but that is one of the tenets, or one of the most important commands of Jesus. And you're not really a good Christian if you haven't at least once tried to save somebody from a life of sin. So let's have it this way. And fortunately for us, our sinner here has repented. And now we have a few options here. So one is to help him spread the gospel, the word of God, the good news anyway. The other is to give him capital punishment, give him something to do penance. I guess our penance here to give him is by beating him, though it would do great for us by reducing our stress, whereas for making him spread Christianity, it would just increase stress. But the second option is leaning towards our sadistic nature. Though in some ways it is good to punish someone, I guess, physically, right? Flog him like how Jesus was flogged. Make him focus less on his physical situation and focus more into the spiritual realm. I guess this is what this option tries to convey here. But my thinking would be why not make him work? Though despite this leaning more on our cynical side of our character, being cynical though is not really a sin. You know, you have someone like doubting Thomas or doubting Thomas James or whomever it was, really pressing in on the idea that Jesus really rose from the dead. And when Jesus revealed to him that what his other companions said was true, Jesus was not angry with him, but rather, um, I guess, I guess was like okay with it. Like not to say that Jesus wants us to be 100% cynical, but rather to have some cynicalism, because that really builds on, like that's a really good trait to avoid being fooled by others, especially in being a Christian. You need to really look into the hearts of people and see if they are genuine in their repentance, their desire, their goodness. So yeah, I get, for this case, work can be a good penance for him. Let's make him our master of a hunt of the hunt, because I also want to do hunts to reduce my stress level. Hold on and let me set up my court. Okay, here's another event. So again, like the previous one. Wait, hold on. So here's an event where our caravan master. Oh yeah, yeah. Similar to the previous event, the avalanche event. Here, in this case, our caravan master fell from a narrow mountain trail. So we have a couple options here. So we can save her, though this is very dangerous and many will perish, and with no other no other info. So we can't really say what's the danger of this option. We can only like guess. So I'd say this is still a good option to choose, because this is just way too vague to know what's the consequence. And the idea that one life, or the idea that the needs of the many outweighs the need of one is not very biblical nor Christian, in a sense that we'll see the we see the sacrifice, the the choice of sacrificing a single person for the rest of us. I guess my idea is that we can't just like kill someone just to save 9 others, because that's murder. What would be better is that if that person volunteered to sacrifice themselves, to martyr themselves. But in this case, this is just a natural accident. loose rocks are not sentient. And I doubt that, or I don't think that our character, though I don't think our character would want us to risk our lives, but it's not like she had a choice anyway. It's not like we know what she wants. We can't just presume that she wants us to leave her behind. We can't also presume that she wants us to go to towards towards her to save her. Though the second option is still an okay choice. No, the risk is too much. The third option would be to relish on the opportunity to have done it ourselves. So I think because of the vagueness of this result, I just want to give it a try. What if we could save her without losing anyone? And unfortunately, no one else died. But unfortunately, Romilda really died. So anyway, and that's an unfortunate event. But at least we tried our best. So here's another event. So and then we have a bit of a spot with a bishop here. Though yes, as you can see here, Jesus did command us to turn the other cheek. But it doesn't mean that we should permit every wrongdoing on us. Like allow it to happen. Like we can't just let a person do harmful things to themselves because they are their own person. Hold on. What I wanted to say is that there is some competing ideas on how this verse of Jesus can be interpreted. Some think that turning the other cheek means to challenge them to something, or turn the other cheek, like letting them slap on the other cheek. And in this case, our prince bishop here is being rude, being a danger to us by cutting off our horse. Being that, as I mentioned before, that the authority we have as an emperor is in some ways given to us or permitted by God, he should be a bit more respectful, especially a man on his station being a priest and a bishop. He should be taught a lesson. Though the risk of that option was that we might gain a rival, and that's really when the assassination events occur. Because really right now, despite a lot of people hating us, I think the game doesn't like make random person make a random person assassinate you, but rather it really begins with your rivals. Like when you gain a rival, then an assassination plot would occur. I guess in this case, oh no, another of our entourage or our fellow traveler has died. Rest in peace. Anyway, where was I? Here's another event. So ako na na post editing nun. So here's another event where we are tested our, I don't know, our character. So in short, a bunch of Venetians are traveling also to the to do pilgrimage, and then their leader like wants to ask us for aid because they are experiencing some difficulties. So of course, being a good Christian, we should really help them. We should not. Okay, I guess Cisalpine, Cisalpine Italians. We should not really judge them because of their culture, nor ignore them completely. Maybe we could just, what's the least? Okay, maybe we could let them join us in our travel. And thankfully, oh no. I want to pick this because there wasn't really a good option there. Mm-hmm. Mm. No, I don't think we should go to the tavern because although it's not really that bad, right? I don't know what's the proper etiquette in when going through a medieval pilgrimage, but I don't think it's really that bad, right, to go to a tavern unless you're having a fasting type of pilgrimage. But I don't think that that's the case here. Mm, let's just see. Okay, so God is refreshment for a long time. Traveler is okay. So this is a test of our temperance. Should we take? Should we keep on drinking or not? I guess the best option for us would be to skip the drinking. Okay. Hmm. So this is the first time we've been called to a war, and I guess this war is okay. So it's a defensive war, though unfortunately, it's a defensive war on a kingdom that our ally here fought 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 for in, I don't know, a dubious way because I don't I'm not really familiar with the I'm not really into the details of like the succession of the English crown during this time. Though I know that I guess King William, right, is he's still related to the, it's not reflected here. I forgot the real history of this, but despite that, yes, let's honor our agreement as promised and help defend our ally from an invasion. Hmm. Unfortunately, we only got a low score for our pilgrimage, and it really went by so quickly. Anyway, at least we still have at least we still have some few good things, right? We got a few good things. Okay, I want to ensure that Italy doesn't rebel against us. So I want to improve our acceptance of the Italian people. The 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 central or so-called Italian in the game. Anyway, so it's basically now a normal game. Okay, so the next wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So the game started in September 15th. So I was wrong. Let's have our next pilgrimage in 2 years. So I need to check in with the Pope. Would he be fine in us getting a coronation? No. How about if we gift him? Would then he be fine? Nope. Still not. How unfortunate. But anyway, we really need to do some other activities like maybe this grand tour. Let's have it as cheap as possible. I just want to try out um the rewards if I haven't really done this, right, like just having a few places to go or stop in my grand tour. And though we're out of budget, maybe we can, guess it's better to wait for a while. Yep. Yep, let's try out this tour. So let's just have 6 for now and reduce the expenses. Okay, so here's another event, guys, in regards to, I don't know, promiscuity. So our character here found a beautiful woman from a town, and we have the opportunity to what? It's so weird. So why is this so funny? Who? Wait, who turns into a bisexual? Me or who? Are any of our entourage? What? Okay, anyway, the basic thing. Oh, okay. I don't know. Just a random person. Hmm. Okay. So not us. I guess the best. I guess we should pick this, right? Most of the saints of this time do this. Huh. So here's another event, guys. So um, our our host here, Adelaide, has set up a keg beside our bed. Though some of you may think that wine is alcoholic and thus is prohibited or bad to drink, but I must say, biblically speaking, Jesus drank wine and spoke about not drinking too much wine. And though some of you may think that it's actually grape juice, but no, we have some biblical verses where the Bible describes wine going bad and the wine skin bursting. You don't really have something like that with grape juices, and grape juices were only invented in modern times or near modern times. There was no evidence of grape juices in the medieval, or I guess the world of antiquity. And from this I guess event, there's no really real indicator that our character here drank too much wine or indulged too much on it. So yeah, we can just take the gift as is. Okay. What year was it again, guys? We had our last pilgrimage, but I have to say or assume, I guess it's already like enough time, right? Enough time has passed that I can go to a pilgrimage. So why not? Anyway, let's have another one. And also, let's be cheap about it too. And why not have it in Spain? Let's save up a bit more money. So as you can see guys, our income has already increased because I think our vassals like us a little bit more, right? I don't know. That's what I assume whenever I play. Anyway, let's just let the time pass. Build up some income. And now we can go to the pilgrimage. The pilgrimage site, I mean. Pickle pea. Beets are yellow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Pickled beet and beets are yellow. Huh. Voice of God. Okay, at least Matilda doesn't hate us. And I think most... No, I guess I'm wrong. Yep, yep, yep. Let's just be thankful. How did she get pregnant when we were away? Or I guess like it's just a weird like quirk of the game. No, there's sometimes where you really are the parent. It's just that the game didn't really, I don't know, check if you are in the same place. Hmm. I know. Okay, we're almost there. Not much is really happening. Um, that's like a threat to us. No. So I just hired some guards to I don't know protect us from any threats that may pose against us. I also want to do a feast and reduce my stress. Okay, very nice. Now we can have our coronation and then further increase the increase our opinion or our vassal's opinion of us. Now reduce the chance of like being assassinated or having rebellions. Let's just wait for the Pope to, I guess, die. How unfortunate. But anyway, can we have an up coronation if... Okay, we can't because the new Pope doesn't like us. If we send him some money, and unfortunately we lost our piety. Let's just have some pilgrimage. I don't really want to be like uptight about it. It was just a mistake, right? Mistake on like maybe the system of the game, right? Because I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Hmm. No, let's not. Okay. There isn't really real evidence that our wife is cheating on us, thus we should just let drop the matter, right? Let's not assume the worst. And yeah, I want to go to a Jerusalem pilgrimage to pass through the like important locations in the game. And geez, a lot of our vassals are facing in wars, and I can't. I want to stop most of these wars. Most of these wars are, I guess, in this case, it's a defensive war. How about this case? Heinrich Futtermausen. I don't have authority to, I guess, stop the war, right? This is their own matter. How about this one? Yeah, it's all of them are defensive wars. Okay, okay, excellent. I can trust that this is my child because she has my traits. So yeah, Mechtilde. My new daughter is Mechtilde, and normally or naturally, I'll raise her myself. She'll join. Hopefully, we'll get a son next. Though I'm not saying I'm not to say that I am ungrateful that I have a daughter. But I just want a son to continue the legacy. Anyway, let's have another pilgrimage in Jerusalem and pass through these points of interest to get some skill, to get some experience, just to make the travel a bit more worth it. The time being absent from ruling, risk getting um getting usurped, usurped by a vassal. And yep, should pass through there. And on our way home, should really pass St. Catherine's Cathedral Monastery. I mean, and okay, that's about it. I'll leave it with the default settings, and off we go. I think we're in the second level, right? Currently, hopefully, our our current travel would, I don't know, raise our piety to the next level. Hmm. What did I get? Dignitas. What's Dignitas again? Dignitas, okay. Nope. Hmm. Excellent. Okay. We're nearly there, but yes, what we have right now is good enough. Then we can get our coronation, and hopefully we'll get the repenting option. The repenting option, and reduce our sinfulness. At least reduce it by one. Mm-hmm. Yep, I think that's a good one. Huh. I guess we can tolerate them, right? Okay, so this is what I really wanted to get, the repent pledge. And who? Okay, sure, it can be French. My supporters, my culture, my legacy, prestige. I guess prestige and legacy. Then I guess what, we go through pilgrimages, right? But first, we can get this to reinforce our bloodline. Caliber. Okay. Hmm. What was that? Huh. Okay, so we're really in the. I guess we're really successful in this challenge. Cause look at this, guys. I guess most of our vassals now likes us, except the Duke of Genoa, due to, yeah, plenty of my sinful traits, as well as Provence. But basically, almost everyone likes us. Can you imagine that? From being the most hated person now to nearly beloved, due to our charming nature, our devotion, especially in pilgrimages, and our coronation. So beautiful. We're almost there to being saint or near sainthood level of reverence, and we're still young, you know. We still have at most 60 years to go. 16, no, 20 years to go. And we should go to this funeral, I guess. And it's already like 17 years into the game, and there's no Italian rebellion yet. So pretty neat. Huh. How unfortunate. So the host of the funeral died, so I guess it ended. But anyway, let's continue our pilgrimages. And afterwards, I guess we can do some land development. We really need just to finish this uh promise of ours, pledge, I want to say. How much does the Pope likes? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ah, excellent. Bailiffs, okay. Negotiated defense. Wait, what was that? Vassals or okay, fellow vassals. I guess two more pilgrimages are. Hold on. Okay. Look at my son, guys. He has the thickest neck of an infant that I've ever seen. Which is natural because he takes from my character. And luckily for us, we've lost our illness. Okay. The final one, I guess, should be in Rome. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This should be the most expensive one for us. But anyway, look at that, guys. The Italian rebellion has dissipated. I guess we are so well liked now. Even our previous, even the vassals who previously hated us, is now liked us. It's great. So I guess the real challenge here, guys, right, is the patience. How the patience on doing all of these things. And great, we have another son who's a ginger. Hold on. Okay, I can't yet. Was he born? Born while we were doing our pilgrimage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That should be our last pilgrimage. All we need now is to improve our the Pope's opinion of us. Set a gift. Okay, so we need to post an alliance on him to get that boost in opinion. So I think this is a great opportunity for us, guys. I think our fellow Christians hmm, are being attacked here in Napoli. Though I can't for certain say that they are really being attacked. I'm tempted to attack them, the the sheikdom, to liberate our fellow Christians here, but hmm, I guess we'll see. And I guess yes, we can now get our repentance option. Unfortunately, okay, very great. So now, as you can see, guys, like most of our sinful traits have been replaced. So now we have honesty, chastity, though we're still cynical. Arrogant is not a like sinful trait, unfortunately, nor is greedy and wrathful, but still that's good enough. Hmm. Though I know one way to hold on. Though I know one way to remove my greed and my wrathfulness. It's just through some very, I guess, rare. You can say that they are rare events. Though unfortunately for me, I forgot how to trigger them. I think they are part of the pilgrimages events. We'll just see. I want to test out this theory. So we get an event where we have to help a poor man, in his life. Okay, let's continue. Let's have another pilgrimage. Okay, our wife is with us. Fortunately, our caravan captain died. Rest in peace. This is our daughter. Oh, nice. Yep, we need to instill in our children, in my children, the virtues, the Christian virtues. How old are we? So we still have quite some time, right? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Let's have also another event. So wow, as you can see, guys, most of our vassals, or if not all of them, like us, nearly 100, except this guy. And I guess that's a bit. That's all of them. Hits us. Let's just visit through, I guess, 10, right? Since we did it first in the north, now let's do it in the south. And we have enough money, so great. Because our character is arrogant, we'll be losing stress. Unfortunately, right? You might think, isn't that a sin? But all I'm doing, or my character is doing, is just visiting his vassals, trying to, I don't know, build up relationships with them. So, a good relationship. So, it's not really bad per se, right? It's just, I don't know, a gameplay limitation. Oh, okay. So, I just went past it so quickly, but it was sadism and deceptiveness that vanish, I guess. Here, okay, this is just a fun event. What's this? Hmm. Yeah, I guess it's fine, right? To though, from what I've heard, oh no. Okay, so in this event, we are encountering some poachers in the woods, and in the historical, like historically, the capital punishment, or the punishment for being a poacher is, I guess in this case, death, or their hands being chopped off. Although maybe good for their time, but not for ours, right? So I'm tempted to, like, maybe, like, do what they did, but like seeing through this retrospectively from a person far in the future, I guess I'll just avoid this issue, right? I guess it also depends, right, on the motivation of the poachers. Maybe they're hungry because right now it's winter. Maybe they didn't have food. So, okay. This is shameful, guys. Princess Adelaide here, despite being a nun, she is very she's clearly a drunkard. We just found out that she has a or a cellar filled with expensive wines and liquors. So she's just spending all her money to buy some alcohol, and clearly that's bad. We really need to we really need to tax this, right? Like, moderate this. this is bad, you know. She needs to pay for an extra tax and maybe even give away some of her alcohol. Hmm. Window wise, I don't really care, right? You can have as many windows that you want. Who cares really if you have a bunch of window? Well, my character does, and maybe it was significant back then. I don't know. I'm not really knowledgeable on that. Quineta. Okay. What's this? Memento Wonderstone. I cannot deny that Bishopric of Mainz is a place of beauty and almost Kaiserin, Cecilia of the Holy Roman Empire. I feel compelled to leave her a mark. Passing Mainz shall be done. What? I don't understand why this gives me stress. I'm just being like chased to my wife, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'll just pick this one. Okay. Unfortunately. Okay, unfortunately, the tree was an important, I don't know, place for them. Sacred site. Maybe a saint touched the tree or um planted the tree. So unfortunately, we need to give him some remuneration, some penance. I guess money would be great. Hmm. No, no, another one. Oh, okay. So he's just jealous. So we didn't do anything bad per se. Nah, let's just avoid that. Who? So there's a what? I'm really I'm really confused on what to do with this one, guys. I guess we could tell the truth, right? We should not let his licentiousness be left unspoken, I guess. I wish we there was an option where we could quietly speak to him, but thinking yes, he's we are only hmm, I think we're only like approaching him, right? Like confronting him. So I guess it's fine and all. Mm-hmm. Another one, I guess. Wait. Okay, another one. I guess it's mentioned previously. That's my own reasoning. Oh no. Oh wait, how did he die? Okay, heart attack. I thought he died because of my action. And now, finally, I guess we're now a high-ranking theologian, or at least a good one. I'm trying to. Maybe we should change, right? Maybe we should change our focus to learning. Now that we're almost a religious icon, we should probably like learn a bit more. Hmm. Shall be done. What's this? What if we do it again? Okay, there's no negative event there. Okay, I guess there's nothing bad, right, in just letting people save their own money. He's not doing anything bad, to be fair. I guess it's implied here, right, that he's now we just want the options here is just that we just really want to tax him because he has a lot of money. So, but he's not like earning it through a bad way or I don't know corruption. So we should just let him keep his money, right? Should also just ignore his windows and all. Hmm. And unfortunately, our stress level went so high up. Now level 3 in stress. Hopefully it will reduce. And another one. Hold on. I think we're gonna die here if we don't do something. Let's try to... Oh no, we can't flagellate ourselves. Let's just hopefully like be careful. And unfortunately my wife died. So rest in peace. Because of that, I don't think I'm gonna get another wife here. What's with all these vassals in there? You know what? We really need to tax them. Unfortunately for us, we lost and died. Though to be fair, we were almost there. But yeah, and we lost the empire. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. I guess that's good, right? The We got so really far that we avoided being assassinated and quickly improve our relations with our fellow vassals. Now our fellow vassals, our former vassals, now fellow vassals. So anyway, unfortunately for us, that's all I've got. So yeah, the real challenge here is to look away at at the number of windows our vassals have. But yeah, I guess that would do it for now, guys. This is just a as I was really expecting a more difficult challenge, but I guess it's way easier if you have no rivals and no, I don't know, real enemies. I'm guessing, like, yeah, that's the only reason we survived. Our vassals didn't really have a reason to kill us. They just have a lot of reason to hate us but not kill. So I guess that's a victory, right, for the Christian faith, that you don't really want to kill someone whom you hate. And thankfully, yes. Thankfully, I guess that's the state which we have, the state of the world in this game. So, anyway, guys, I went in and loaded back to when my character was still alive. So, here is. So, just to recap what I achieved, I basically like removed the sinful traits of Catholicism from my character and replaced them with, I guess, better traits. No sin was committed, and unfortunately, though, I wasn't able to achieve the highest level in my religious devotion, piety. I'm just short. Um, I'm short of like 543 points from being like what's considered a saint in the game. So unfortunately, that's unfortunate. I mean, but we did manage to like gain the trust of people, especially the Pope, my vassals. This is my empire, and if I also would be, yeah, most of the electors support me. Basically, almost everyone likes me now. Yeah, even the heathens. So we've gained the trust of people and practically became a saint, except for a few points. But yeah, but despite that, I think this is a learning experience for me. I wish to try this challenge again, though in a much more difficult situation. If you have any suggestion, guys, on how to do it next, kindly comment below. But anyway, besides that, thank you guys for checking this video out, and God bless and see you in the next one.